Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Daily News. Glad you all could be with us. Of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. With a message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with actors and married couple Ada DeLeep and Brenda Dixit discussing their journey to pursuing their dreams. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Tuesday headlines. In national news, police seek why 72-year-old gunman shot up L.A. dance hall. The search for the motive behind the shooting massacre at a Los Angeles area ballroom dance hall led police to a mobile home community as they probed the past of the 72-year-old suspect on Monday in his relationship to the club. Meanwhile, the death toll rose to 11 after health officials announced that one of the 10 people who were wounded had died. The suspect, who Conversations Daily News is not naming, was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound on Sunday, had visited police in his town twice this month to allege he was the victim of fraud, theft, and poisoning by family members between 10 and 20 years old in the LA area, a spokesperson told the Associated Press. The suspect said he would return to the station with documentation, but never did. The suspect was found dead in the van that he used to flee after attempting to attack a second dance hall, authorities said on Monday. The mayor of Monterey Park said that the suspect may have frequented the first dance hall that he targeted, and his ex-wife told CNN she had met him there and he offered her free lessons. All but one of the victims were 60 or older, according to information released on Monday by the Los Angeles Coroner's Office, providing the first identifications. In more national news, U.S. proposes once-a-year COVID shots for most Americans. U.S. health officials want to make COVID-19 vaccinations more like the annual flu shot. The Food and Drug Administration on Monday proposed a simplified approach for future vaccination efforts, allowing most adults and children to get a once-a-year shot to protect against the mutating virus. This means Americans would no longer have to keep track of how many shots they've received or how many months it's been since their last booster. The proposal comes as boosters have become a hard sell. While more than 80% of the U.S. population has had at least one vaccine dose, only 16% of those eligible have received the latest boosters authorized in August. The FDA will ask its panel of outside vaccine experts to weigh in at the annual meeting on Thursday. The agency is expected to take their advice into consideration while deciding future vaccine requirements for manufacturers. In documents posted online, FDA scientists say many Americans now have significant pre-existing immunity against the coronavirus because of vaccination, infection, or a combination of the two. That baseline of protection should be enough to move to an annual booster against the latest strands in circulation and make COVID-19 vaccinations more like the yearly flu shot, according to the agency. In more national news, 4 Oath Keepers convicted of January 6 seditious conspiracy. 4 members of the Oath Keepers were convicted Monday of seditious conspiracy in the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack, in the second major trial of far-right extremists accused of plotting to forcibly keep President Donald Trump in power. The verdict against the 4 individuals, which Conversations Daily News is not naming, comes weeks after a different jury convicted the group's leader in the mob attack that halted the certification of President Joe Biden's electoral victory. It's another major victory for the Justice Department, which is also trying to secure sedition convictions against the former leader of the Proud Boys and 4 associates. In business news, Google accessed 12,000 jobs as layoffs spread across tech sector. Google laid off 12,000 workers, or about 6% of its workforce, becoming the latest tech company to trim staff as the economic boom that the industry rode during the COVID-19 pandemic seems to ebb. Google CEO, who also leads its parent company Alphabet, informed staff last Friday at the Silicon Valley giant about the cuts in an email that was also posted on the company's news blog. It is the company's biggest ever round of layoffs and adds to tens of thousands of other job losses recently announced by Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook parent Meta, and other tech companies as they tighten their belts amid a darkening outlook for the industry. In entertainment news, fans and celebrities gather at Graceland to mourn Lisa Marie Presley. Lisa Marie Presley, a singer-songwriter of the daughter Elvis Presley, was remembered during a funeral service over the weekend as a loving mother and an old soul who endured tragedy but persevered as a dedicated protector of her father's legacy as a rock and roll pioneer and pop icon. More than 1,000 people gathered on the front lawn of Graceland on a gray, chilly Memphis morning to mourn the death and remember the life of Lisa Marie Presley, who died January the 12th as she was taken to a hospital in California. And finally, in more business news, Wall Street rises as Fed rate move nears, earnings ramp up. Stocks close higher on Wall Street as investors grow more convinced the Fed Reserve will keep downshifting the size of its interest rate hikes as several major companies prepare to report their latest results. The S&P 500 rose 1.2% on Monday. Tech companies led the way in a broad rally, pushing the Nasdaq Composite up 2%. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Looking for a reason to smile today? Remember that no matter what you might have thought or what you have been told, you were created to be a living masterpiece. Your Creator shaped you the way He did for a purpose and knows more about you than anyone else ever could. He wants nothing but the best for you, and you can have it, but you have to want the same for yourself. Have a great Tuesday. We are part of my conversation coming up with Ada DeLeep and Brenda Dixit in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Actors and married couple Ada DeLeep and Brenda Dixit join me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about what it's been like for them to pursue their goals and dreams. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Thanks for the two of you for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Cyrus. We're excited.
Hey, glad to do it. So, Brenda, I'll start with you ladies first. I want to talk about this experience for you. What has it been like for you, Brenda, to be able to do what you love as an actor, and then, of course, to be able to share that experience with the rest of us?
Oh, my gosh. Great question to start off, Cyrus. Well, look, I feel so privileged to be able to get to pursue this dream. I think there are so many people out there in the world who are suffering and struggling, and what do we turn to? We turn to arts, we turn to books, movies, television shows. So I just feel so grateful that I get to be that face for people of comfort and support and solace. And I think that it's so magical to be able to be an actor and get to jump into all these stories and just give a little breath of fresh air to people. That's kind of what is the most special to me.
Yeah, I love that. And what about for you, Adit? What has it been like for you on this journey to be able to have that dual effect of doing something that you love, but also have people appreciate your work?
Yeah, it's so interesting because the reason I got into it was because when I was a kid and, anytime my parents and I fought, we'd just go into the movies and we'd drive to the movies and we'd watch movies, and that's how we dealt with our problems. And now, circling to today where I'm actually pursuing the career, I think one of the really fascinating things that Brenda and I have been finding is that, I got into it with certain ideas of what it's going to be like, what's acting going to be like, what are the kind of stories I'm going to tell. And then when you start to do it, you start to do so many different things that you never even imagined. And I'm starting to do roles where I wouldn't have never have told you that, hey, I'm going to sing on Broadway and do Broadway roles. And here I am auditioning for Broadway and learning music from Brenda because she's classically trained in singing, and I've never done that before.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversation Daily News. Prepare to get on tomorrow's more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course, your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.